Thanks. Ranjini kind of said, why don't you start off where I left? And she was giving some suggestions, but before that I thought, let me talk about the rest of the cultural part that she might have taught. And that's about the IST, the timing. What does IST stand for? Indian Standard Time, yeah. It's actually called Indian Stretchable Time. So when a break is supposed to be 10 minutes, it usually becomes 15 minutes, 16 minutes. And this was a perfect example of IST. The other part of it I was just discussing with Ranjini was the whole Namaste. So it's not unlike in China or in Japan, where when you greet each other, you're bowing to each other as a person. But the Namaste means I'm actually bowing to the divine in you, to the God within you. Because the belief is that everybody has the divine in themselves, and therefore I'm not bowing to you as a person, but I'm bowing to you, to the divine within you. That's basically the context. Now, Ken and I have had quite a bit of conversation on what would be relevant for a group such as yours, and I've been addressing quite a few such delegations coming from various countries. And what we thought best would be possibly that we'll have it as a very open conversation. So anytime that you want to interject, please feel free to do it. It's anyway a small group, so I think you will also learn from the experiences that each one of you bring in. And what I'll start off with is a larger picture of what India is, and anyway most of you would have that picture, but I'll repeat that so that we can exchange information among ourselves. And this will also be possibly be a good pitch for your board in case you need to take anything back to your board. So that picture is actually the report that was launched in February. I personally authored it. It captures what is going on in India in the last 2 years, previous to February 2016. So it captures all the changes that have happened. Now we have been hearing for a long time that there is change coming in, there's a lot of business coming in, and there's also been a lot of skepticism that if there is business coming in, show me where it is. We are also having skepticism in terms of, you're saying there'll be ease of doing business. I find myself completely bound up. I can't do business in India. So where is this ease of doing business happening? So what is really happening? Is there something happening, or is it just a whole bunch of programs being announced and slogans being put out there? So we have decrypted that in this publication, in this report, without going into too much of details. It's a 60,000 feet view of really the innards of what's going on and how the wheels are moving and what will be the future as we move forward. Unfortunately, I didn't bring the reports, but if you do a search online, you'll get the PDF of it. I would strongly recommend you may want to go through it. We initially published some 5,000 copies of it. We got requests from the government to come out with another 10,000 overnight practically. It got taken up by all the CEOs of the world and has been pushed in by the government also. That's an extremely good place to start off with in terms of figuring out what's really going on. Now if you look at okay, so India clearly seems to be one of the only bright spot in generally a cloudy global economy. Europe is struggling with Brexit coming in. We are having a tough time. China becomes shaky because once you start looking at the numbers, it looks like a bit of a Ponzi scheme because the growth is coming purely from investments year after year. The day the investment stops, the returns from the previous investments will also stop. With a $25 trillion debt, which is about 40% of the global economy, it's difficult for to believe that China's economy will pull through. We all hope it should, because otherwise it will be a tough situation for the rest of the world. US appears to have turned around, but it's not a very secular turnaround in that sense. And so these are essentially the large economies. Japan is stuck where it is stuck. And therefore, India seems to be the only bright spot as of now. Surprisingly, India is actually is the third largest contributor to global growth. Now, why is it surprising is because if you look at the overall numbers, and that's where a little bit of sanity checks has to be brought in. We are only a $2.3 trillion economy, and the global economy is 73 trillion, depending on how you measure it. So if a $2 trillion economy is bringing in the largest amount of growth, so even if we grow at 10%, a $2 trillion growth on, 10% on 2 trillion,